Hello, my friends. Can you hear me? Yes. Yes, it is still me. Don't worry. It's the same person. I just lost about 20 years with the beard. And for those of you men that have the facial hair, you understand what I'm talking about. You can completely change your look just by shaving the facial hair. So, yeah, it's been pretty cool, though, in the sense that I still recognize myself underneath, which is good because it's been many years since I've had a clean shave like this. So here we are. Okay, so let us see. Waiting for some people to join up. And just completed the 10-day master cleanse. It was a wonderful experience. And this cleanse, though, showed me that I don't so much need the cleanse that much anymore. Although it was a wonderful colon cleanse, yes, it was not a, like, typically I get like a euphoric type, wow, okay, feeling so good and so clear and everything. But this time, not so much. I mean, because I always feel that way anyways. And so that was a really good thing for me to understand. And hello, PA, good to see you, my friend. Yes, we are waiting for some people to show up. Maybe because I forgot to make the thumbnail earlier, and then, so I don't know if it alerts people at the right time or whatnot. But hey, maybe it'll just be a small group today. So what do you guys got going on? Let's see. One thing I want to show you guys, if you are watching this after the fact or whenever, the Dr. Bronner's organic shaving soap is magnificent. And I used to not utilize this kind of stuff. I used to be, before I had the awakening, and I understood how we're being constantly bombarded by chemicals and things, I used to just use the Gillette and all that stuff, and until I saw that it's just got all kinds of carcinogenic chemicals and all sorts of different things in it that are terrible for the skin. And so that's why I use this. It actually turns out to be really good. It's pretty much just Dr. Bronner's with the with some sugar in it. Something about the organic sugar that re-moistens the skin, and some lavender oils and stuff. Really good. No, obviously I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but it just works good. You got to use a brush though, like the camel hair brush. So, okay, some people showing up. Hello, my friend, Iowa Viking. Good to see you here. PA says, I've got a duck on the stove. Nice, man. That sounds really good. You raise ducks and then you got one on the stove. That sounds lovely. What time is it there in Portugal? Nancy, hello, my friend. She said, blessings from Chattanooga. Yes, you guys have got some awesome growing weather right now, so that's really cool. And I hope your garden is doing well. Things are coming up. Pam, good to see you here. Says, hello, handsome Nate. Love the look. Now we can see your E. Yes, it feels like you're not, at first it feels like you're not wearing pants. I mean, you're like, whoa, you feel so naked. You just kind of want to like, but something I notice is that the face is so expressive, so much more expressive without the beard. Because the beard is kind of just like this, and you can only sort of get the facial or the eye expressions without all the little nuanced, all the different things. So, yeah. Hello, Jerry. Good to see you here, my friend. He says, hi, Nate. Glad to see you in good spirits. Of course. How to deal with personalities that remind you of past people that were hard to handle. That's a very good one, my friend. Yes, let us get to that. Carol T1, hello, I'm driving but listening. Fantastic, my friend. Pay attention to the road. So that is wonderful. I'm glad that you are here with us. Trish, hello, my friend. Says, who's this young guy? Yeah, I know, man. It's you feel as old as Father Time with the beard sometimes, and you just look in the mirror and I don't know, it's good to switch things up, and now the last frost is pretty much past, and so now is the time to clean house. And I did the master cleanse and then just shaved, and it just all feels really wonderful. It's perfect time for spring. Everything's going to be growing now. Vicky Voss says, what a difference. Yes, it definitely makes a big difference. Okay, so I want to get to Jerry's question. He says, how to deal with personalities that remind you of past people that were hard to handle. There are a number of different ways. And so there's different levels to it. And the one level is you can utilize the same techniques that you would utilize when meditating. So when we meditate, this is another benefit of meditation. This is another benefit, another reason we meditate. So in typical traditional meditation style, we would focus on a meditation object, for example, our breathing, and we are focusing on the inhalation and the exhalation. And this is classic, breathing meditation type, okay? So, and I used to teach this all over, so listen. And we are breathing in, and we are feeling the sensation that goes through the nose. And we are feeling the sensation as it leaves the body, like this. And we are fully aware that we are breathing in. We're not thinking. You can start with thinking, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, like this. And you can just feel every little nuance of the chest rising and falling and the air entering the nose and leaving the nose. But there's no sense, there's no thoughts about anything. We're not trying to think, okay, I'm meditating and I'm the dialogue in the head. So we're focused on the breathing, okay? I'm getting to the point, don't worry. So we're focused on the breathing, and then every time that the mind wanders away, we just take notice that it's wandered away, and we direct it back. We direct it back to the breathing. Like this, some people will go one breath. Some people can't even go one breath before the mind is already wandering to something else. But then just breathing in and breathing out, just the sensation. And if there are noises, like there often are, then you don't react to the noise. You just listen to it and watch it as it appears in the body. Watch a little bit of irritation, maybe if there's a dog barking. And as you get more sensitive, you can understand these things in yourself. And so this is what the meditation is for. And you're breathing in because you're always going back to the stillness, just the breath, the present moment. And then when you hear a dog barking, perhaps you can notice a little agitation in yourself. And you can just label it, okay, agitation. And then come back to the mind, or come back to the breath. And then every little thing, if the phone rings, whatever happens, or thoughts come into the mind. As thoughts come into the mind, we don't grab hold of them and we don't let them fluster us. We just watch the thought as it is passing through our mind like it is a cloud that is passing in the sky. That's exactly, and we just watch. All these things are happening and we're just watching, observing all of it, okay? And so the more that we do this, and this is wonderful tools for life, guys. This has been so transformational for me over the years. And the more that we do this, we're training the mind to not be in a reactive state. And so we can just observe. We can observe from the neutral position of the ultimate observer, which in our essence is what we are anyways. And so we can use that training to see how far we've come. Back to your question, when people come into your life that remind you of past people that you had problems with, then you can use the same thing. So that used to bother you back when you were totally identified with your mind and back when you were just along for the ride of your mind. Because most people actually have zero control of their mind whatsoever, okay? And if you want to try that out, try the meditation I just said. Try it for 5 minutes, okay? So if you have control of your mind, then you can tell it what to do. So focus only on the sensation of the breath. No thoughts, nothing else. Yes, and most people will go 1 or 2 or maybe 5 breaths, maybe a dozen breaths before the mind is totally doing something else, even though they decided that their mind was going to do this or that. The untrained mind has very little control of itself, okay? And so, for that reason, after you train yourself, then you can see, okay, well, this person used to irritate me, and all of these things used to really elicit a response of irritation and sort of aggression and things like that, and it used to really fluster whatever I was doing. But now, because of my training, I can simply watch these feelings arising within myself. I can see, oh, why am I getting frustrated? Why did I just get a flush of hotness when this person said this? And I just want to kind of maybe smack this person or something. So you can observe all of those things within yourself. And then you can see that what you used to think was coming from another person is actually coming from within you. And so you have absolute control over it. This is the magic of it all, is that whatever irritated you in the other person, whatever you were observing with them, is an aspect of yourself. It is coming from within you. And so you can see how far you've come when you train yourself to do this. And you can see that, okay, I have control over all of this. I'm not going to give this person that control over me anymore. Because whatever offends you or whoever irritates you, that person or that thing has control over you. You're giving the power away so that they can control your inner state. And that's a helpless place to be. And so we want to do the practice and the training so that we are the one that has the power and control over our internal state. And so so that's my answer to that. Very, very long-winded answer, but you can see in this way that it all comes back to the training, and it all comes back to going within, because and then there's other levels to it. So whatever is irritating you within someone else is an element of yourself that you have not come to peace with, or you have not come to terms with, or that you dislike about yourself. You can use it like this, because everything arises from within. Nothing came from that other person. That other person is not giving you anything that you are not originating yourself. So yes, long way to say, give it a go, the meditation, because after some time, it really transforms everything, so that life you no longer become reaction seeking in other people, and you yourself no longer become reactive. And this is the place of peace. So PA says, yes, raise, butcher him, cook him. It's 1700 here. Now, okay. Yes. Yes. On what day is it? So it's 5 o'clock in the evening on Monday. That's cool. Ryan Spencer, hello from Plymouth, UK, sending high frequency and energy to all. Yes, thank you very much, my friend. I am doing the same thing to you right now, and every one of you guys. PA says, yes, it's always refreshing to shed your facial hair. Yes, definitely. You got to remember what it looks like. Although, yeah, feast your eyes, because this is not going to last long. Got to have a beard of some kind. Pam says, maybe you can grow a mustache later. Yes, that's... Definitely, I'm gonna grow a mustache. Yeah. It's fun when you get to play around with it, When it's short like that, you can do stuff. But when it's just super long, you can't do anything, Fly with Love says, nice clean shave, Nate. Thank you very much, my friend. Yes, it's still shocking to me. I feel like I am still look like in high school is how I feel. But that's not the case. Vicky Voss says, I'm on day 7 of the Master Cleanse. All right, my friend, congratulations. Could you speak of when you came off of the cleanse? I'm thinking of doing papaya as well, but wondering if it will be too heavy. Okay, so I'm actually making a new set of Master Cleanse videos, because the ones I made were 3-4 years ago, and those were the first videos I ever made. So I've come a long way in so many respects. And so I am making a new set of the Master Cleanse videos. And so because I just did the 10-day ones, and so I'm going to use that experience. And part of that is showing, okay, the classic way that Stanley Burroughs, the developer of this cleanse, in the 1940s came up with was the first day off, which would be day 11, you consume only orange juice. And then the second day is the soup, okay? And that is how I did it for a number of years. I did a number of cleanses like that. But based upon my own experience and other people's experience, because I've worked with so many people on this now, hundreds, that the orange juice day is really difficult for people. And so the best way that I have found, I experimented with different ways, and the best way is very ripe mango and papaya and bananas. And a little bit of pineapple if you would like, because pineapple has bromelain in it, and that is a digestive enzyme, and so it helps to really kickstart our digestive process. Because the whole thing is you have to reawaken the digestive fire, the Agni in Ayurveda medicine. in the Indian way of treating medicine, which is food as the medicine. Your whole lifestyle is your medicine. So your food choice, your food combinations, the food sourcing, all of that is the medicine, which of course makes perfect sense and is the case. It works. What you consume either is your medicine or is your toxins, and both physically and mentally and spiritually. So if you consume clean, high vibrational things, you will have a clean, high vibrational body, mostly free of disease. And likewise, if you consume clean and high vibrational thought things and spiritual things, that will be your state of mind. You will experience a world that is just wonderful. And so, Koku Divers, what's up, Jesse? Wow, man. Yeah, it would be great to get back to Thailand and see you someday, my friend. Are you still there with your dad? So it's Jesse from Kokud. Yeah, I know, man. So cool. That is awesome. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're still laughing, smiling big. Got that huge, loud laughter. Yes, that I remembered very much. So yeah, I'm just living a whole different lifestyle now. I definitely would like to get back to Kokud someday and see you, my friend. Hope all the diving is going well. So back to the question of coming off of the cleanse would be, it's all about awakening the digestive fire. And so some people, like myself, can reawaken that like pretty much immediately. My digestive fire doesn't even really go to, it does a little bit, but not much. And so as soon as I start with the mango and the papaya and the banana, boom, right away, it's back. The whole digestion thing is back up and it's ready to go. So, but some people, it's not like that. Some people have to jumpstart it. They have to jumpstart the digestion for a couple of days. And that can be, you'll notice that if you try some of the mango and papaya and you and you feel some cramps a little bit, okay, back off a little bit. Have some more water. Maybe just really mush up some of the banana or something and take it a little bit slower. Maybe have a little bit of orange juice or some pineapple, something like that. And then you will know based upon the feeling. But most people can do mango and papaya and banana the first day off, and then the second day is the soup. So, but you'll be able to tell if it's too heavy. Papaya is not going to be too heavy. So you're a little bit concerned about papaya being too heavy. Don't worry about that. Papaya is full of, what is it? Paparin, I think, is the enzyme that when you buy digestive enzyme, like natural digestive enzyme tablets I used to work at Vitamin World many years ago. And so the active ingredient is papaya extract. And so when you eat the fresh papaya, that's one of the best things you can eat, is when you eat the fresh papaya, you're getting it in its bioavailable form. Don't let anyone fool you. Any kind of extract that's in a pill or bottle form or any of that kind of stuff, even tinctures and stuff, just can't compare with the real deal. The fresh, whole, real deal that has the structured water in it, that has the vitamins and minerals in the exact proportion that nature intended them to be for the body. So even digestive enzymes, papaya extract and all that stuff, it can't even compare to eating the fresh, real deal. So remember that. Vicky Voss says, thank you for the advice. I've done orange juice in the past and it was not the most pleasant experience. We'll try papaya this time. Okay, so you've done this before. Good. Yeah, that's when most people have the issue, is the orange juice day, is they just felt lack of energy and all kinds of stuff. And so, no. But see, when Stanley Burroughs was doing it, the papaya and mango and bananas available year-round was not so much happening in the 1940s. So that's probably why. Trish says, that's so cool that you're able to reconnect with Jesse. Yeah, that would be awesome. That's crazy that he's here. He says, yep, still here, always. Yes, good. Yeah, man. When you're traveling and stuff, guys, when you meet people and stuff, it's so interesting because in your day-to-day life, and this is one of the most magnificent things of traveling, in your day-to-day life, when you meet somebody, you sort of have like this, you're sort of carrying your whole past with you, if that makes sense. Like what job you have, this is what I am, or what kind of car I drive, or what kind of house I drive, and my perceived status in society and all of this, and who I used to be and what I've done in the past and all of that, and who my social circle is. All of that stuff is not actually real in the present moment, of course, but we carry it with us in our thought atmosphere. And so when you meet new people in your day-to-day life, then it can take a long time before you really get deeply connected with them. And many of the people never truly even deeply connect with people. And I never realized that until I left and went traveling and really deeply connected with people. But when you're traveling, it's like you don't have any time for any of that, because it might just be a matter of hours or days or a few weeks, who knows, that you will be with the person. And so none of that, your house or your status, or none of that, or your possessions or who you were, none of that matters. None of that, because this person doesn't know. And how could they ever know? And so you meet each other like in a very present relationship. And that enables you to just go super deep and form connections with people very fast. So, people that I spent weeks and months around, I connected like brothers and sisters. I mean, really deeply connected with them. So it's just a whole different kind of thing, the relationships you form when you're traveling, because you just don't have time for games, and don't have time for any of that stuff. So, yes, let's see, guys. What do you got going on in your life right now? Okie Ranch wife says, hello, all. What a great way to start the week. Yes, I agree, my friend. Jerry says, good advice. I will look inward for my compatibility issues and revisit my past as an observer. Yes, that is a very good thing to do. And also, yeah, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. If you've been doing the practice, if you've been, doing the work, it's all about just doing the practice. And so that's what I came to find out over these years, is that it's not so much about thinking about it or about analyzing anything. It's just about doing these ancient practices. And the practice itself is what makes the transformation. You can't help but transform by doing these things, like the cold training and the hot training, the sauna training, and the breathing exercises and the meditation, all those kind of things. You just do them, and the transformation happens. It's magnificent. Yes, just pure water with some of the mint from outside. Mint is in a really good state right now. It's delicious. The essential oils are really going strong, but it hasn't gone to seed yet. So it's the best time right now, is before it goes to seed. So, and let's see here. Karolti says, I remember a book on Zen, just trying to count breaths. Then you know how far you got before your mind wanders. But I never got to what is much. I never got to what. So you probably didn't count to that high. Yeah, you could count if you wanted, but then I never really recommended that to people unless your mind is really active. If you have a mind that, the mind can't sit still for even a short amount of time, then yes, you will need things like that, because it's more stimulation. You will have to count. You will have to, 1 in, out, 2, 3, like this. You can count, or you can count the inhalations, but eventually, though, pretty soon, as the mind becomes a little bit more tame under your control, then you will have to let even that go. So, because the objective is not to be counting in your head or to do any of that kind of stuff. And so, yes, you can if your mind is active at first. But to those of you that are not accustomed to this, when you first start this type of thing, this type of meditation, people are like blown away. And they just stop. I mean, they just stop because it's like the most difficult thing they've ever done in many ways, in the sense that your mind has absolutely a mind of its own, for lack of a better term. So you think that, yes, okay, this is my mind, okay? But if it's your mind, then make it sit still for a moment, okay? And if it's yours and you possess it, then you could let it go for a moment. So just set it down for a moment. Zero thoughts whatsoever, okay? Just put it down and don't pick up any thoughts whatsoever, okay? So just empty it. If it's yours and you have control of your mind, you could do that, no problem. But of course you can't. The untrained mind can't. And even the trained mind, only for some time can that happen, But the thing is that The thing is that the more that you train your mind, the more that you become the master of it. And so your emotions that come up, the things that appear to come from outside. So like if something happens, somebody says something, and then I feel this way, see, you made me angry, or see, you made me jealous, or see, you made me, or this situation, even if you don't actively say that, you're thinking, okay, well, this person did this, and so that's why I'm feeling this way. And in a way that is true, but ultimately it came from within you. All of these things are coming from within you and they are under your control. It's just that you've been living a life that has been giving for years free reign to the mind and to the emotions to take you wherever you want. And you're just basically like holding on, just like, along for the ride. And the mind and the emotions are just taking you wherever they feel like, but you don't actually have control of them. So the moment that I realized, and truly realized, it became a reality for me, not just conceptualized it. Once I realized this, then I thought, okay, well, something has to be done because I must be the one in control of my mind. There's no other way about it. Because my mind, at that point in life, my mind was leading me into destruction and despair, deep despair. And so it was forced. It was forced upon me. You have to either get control of your mind or you will die. It's really that serious. And so only then was I like, okay, got to get control of the mind. And so then I called upon all the practices from all the years, and it just all worked out really well. So Bobby Anderson says, I'm not quite on the same path, but you're absolutely right about having to do the work and stay with practices. My life was completely transformed by Sadhguru and his programs. Yes. What is the program? The Inner Engineering. That's right, Sadhguru, Inner Engineering. Yes, I know all about it. It was wonderful. I took that course for some time, a number of years ago. He just offered during one Diwali celebration, festival time, he offered it free to people. And so I took the free 7-day or 7-week Inner Engineering. And yes, it was very good. It was a wonderful thing, but it did not lead to the ultimate clarity or awakening. I can't say that it didn't lead to it because it was a step along the way. But yeah, very good. Sadhguru, definitely. It's very accessible what Sadhguru speaks of and the system that he's come up with, okay? So PA says, so Wim Hof breathing. I passed out 2 days in a row. Then I did 2 days nasal breathing, and that was better, but now I have too much nasal congestion, and now I try only 15 breaths for the first 2 rounds. Yes, okay, if you passed out, then it's because your chemoreceptors in the body are not conditioned. And so when the slightest bit of... Because, listen, most of us, well, all of us, we walk around with a certain ratio of oxygen to carbon dioxide in the body. And so when that ratio becomes thrown out of balance, it can signal to the body, whoa, something is wrong. And so it will do things, it will make you pass out because it's a fail-safe mechanism. Because it's saying, whoa, something's going on. Okay, good night, boom, makes you pass out so that the body can have control of breathing again. You see? And that really is what it boils down to. And so what we have to do is we have to slowly condition the you can look this up. The chemoreceptors tell how much carbon dioxide is in the body because contrary to popular belief, it is actually not a lack of oxygen. When you hold your breath, it is not a lack of oxygen that gives you the urge to breathe. It is a buildup of carbon dioxide, and that's what makes the urge to breathe. And so and that's especially true with the breathing techniques because you've super saturated the blood with the oxygen, but you've thrown off that ratio of oxygen to carbon dioxide. And so that can make you feel really weird at first, but that gets better with time. And so you don't have to push it, you can just back off a little bit. And I still always suggest to people through the mouth. The mouth is the best way for the Wim Hof type of breathing. And so just take it slower and go from the belly. It doesn't have to be. A lot of people want to, go so fast, but that can be after you build up. You can do it like that after you build up, but it does not have to be that way at first. So if you're feeling, lightheaded and stuff, then just build up to that and you will have success. Let's see. It says, PA says, and then up to 30 the second round. But I have noticed that I drift off and just stop breathing for X amount of time. Any thoughts? Okay, well, I just gave you a bunch of thoughts, but let's see. And then up to 30 seconds the second round, but I have noticed that I drift off and just stop breathing for X amount of time. Yes, so I would suggest that, do you lay down? Are you laying down when you do it? So for people like that, then it's best to back off a little bit, but do it cross-legged, sitting, in a very comfortable place. But just kind of sit there so that you can feel the body. And when it goes, okay, so you're doing it in bed, right? And so sit up when you're doing it. Sit up cross-legged, and that way the body is going to feel the equilibrium. And so once you start feeling the equilibrium kind of, whoa, then you just back it off a little bit. And like that. And there's no need to push it. There's no need to, because you don't gain anything extra, especially in the beginning. And once you get to the advanced stages, we can really push it hard and it's fantastic, but we're doing it's for different things in different ways. So it's once you build up. So if you're just starting and you notice that you're like passing out or you're drifting off and you're unable to stay focused, and then all of a sudden you just start breathing again and you come to and you realize, whoa, what am I doing? I'm in bed, what am I, then you need to back it off a little bit. And so sit up cross-legged, do the breathing like that. And once you feel yourself getting dizzy like that, just back it off a little bit more. That's what I suggest. And you will have success, my friend. So Gertrude Lee says, fresh cuts. Yep, fresh cuts. Still look like a kid in my own eyes, I feel like that. But, okay. Okay, guys, so what else is going on in your life? Let's see some questions here. What do you got? Graham, good to see you, my friend. It says, hi, Nate. Breathing in deeply through your nose creates a vortex effect, which energizes the oxygen. If you look into Victor Schorberger on YouTube, it's very interesting. Yes, and I understand this, my friend, definitely. It's a wonderful thing to breathe through the nose, and for certain exercises, that's very good for certain type of breathing. But when we're talking the classic Wim Hof, the powerful type breathing, the mouth is going to be the best. You can do the nose, of course, but through all the different people that I've been working with this over the years and all of that, the mouth gives the best effect. And it allows the muscles to really, did you mean Victor Schauberger? Probably. So it allows the muscles, because what we have to do is we have to train the muscles to breathe properly. And so most people are breathing way too high in the chest. And so their chest is rising. And they're breathing what would be called like high in the chest. But where you want to breathe from is more from the diaphragm, the belly. So with the Wim Hof breathing, and you're training the body to really breathe completely. And so you're visualizing breathing in and filling the bottom of the belly first. Maybe we should do it live on this sometime. We could do one of the sessions where we all are doing it live. That would be great. And so we are focusing on the belly first, filling that. And so we actually are pushing this out. And then the chest. And then let it go. And when we do this with the breathing techniques, we train the muscles so that in the day-to-day life now, we breathe properly from the belly, the full diaphragm breathing. My lung capacity has just like really, and the power of my lungs from doing this over this past many years has really improved dramatically. Yes. Graham says, yes, sounds good. Breathing like a Viking. Yes, that we should do. That would be cool. If we could all, maybe, we'll schedule it and we'll do a live session to where you guys and we're all doing it together. That would be great. And let's see. PA says, Peeps, I recommend his documentary, Comprehend and Copy Nature. Is that the name of the documentary? Because I would like to watch that. Ursula, hello, my friend, says you could open the next live stream with 5 to 10 minutes of guided breathing. That would be pretty cool. Yes, we could also do that. Maybe we'll do that. We'll see. How many votes for that? We could do that next time. So we could drop in and then we could talk about it. And that's important. Okay, and let's see. Graham says, I do cycling. It's very good. You mean like bicycling? Like that? Or cycling breathing? Cyclical breathing? PA says, I'll drop the link in the comments after the live. Okay, good. Thank you. Yes, I would like to watch that. So let's see, guys. What else do we need to talk about? And breathing deeply through the nose. Yeah, and there's all different kinds of techniques. And to help, so if you have weak lungs, a really good thing to do is to do the do push-ups like this, so that you do the breathing. These are like power push-ups, Wim Hof push-ups, okay? And so we breathe in deeply and out. We do the standard breathing like we'll experience together next time. And after 50 to 60 of those breaths, we hold on the inhalation, and then we do as many push-ups as we possibly can with the breath held in. And you will feel like an incredible pressure all over the body and the lungs and everything. And this is really helping to build lung strength. So if you feel like you have less than super powerful lungs, then you should do this technique. I do it all the time. And it's wonderful. It's really good to what it does with the breathing, the lung capacity. And so I recommend it highly to all. Donna, hello, my friend. Good to see you make it here. She says, oh, I made it. I guess better late than never. Just put fresh labs in my garden. I can't make myself eat the cheese. I fed it to my dogs and chickens. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, well, don't say that too loud because many people can't make enough of the cheese, myself included. That's like, it's gone as soon as I make it. So, yeah, I would highly recommend to eat the cheese, my friend. Graham says, bicycle around the countryside roads and mountain biking. Man, that does sound great. Graham is in Ireland, so I bet it's very beautiful there. A lot of winding hills and stuff like that for biking. Never been there, but I can imagine. Trish says, last week I went to an evening talk with a Reiki author. We were chanting from the Hara, and it was so powerful. It's amazing how your body vibrates and resonates when you breathing so deeply. Absolutely, it does, my friend. And that is one reason I love the kirtan and stuff like that. The chanting is wonderful because everybody is not only on the same vibration and in the same sort of, with the same inertia and the same harmony, but they're also practicing the deep breathing. And for a long time, I had a harmonium here, but Jenny took it away now. It was hers. But, and we would do lots of chanting. And so that was wonderful. And I do miss that, definitely. And the breathing, you drop into the breathing. But here in a couple of weeks, Jenny and I are going to a camp, like a 2-day camp on making your own didgeridoo. And so that sounds cool because I've kind of always been interested in that. But what better way to get one and experience it and learn from the person than you just make your own. You make your own, and then he shows you how to use them and stuff. So that sounds really like the way I would like to do it. And so that's in like 2 weeks. Let's see here. Nancy Cagle says, what chant did you just refer to? I do all kinds of chants, so I'm not sure which one we're referring to, but you can look up the... let's see, what was the name? Well, Shiva Shambho. I would do this chant a lot in groups, and then we do the, why am I not able to think of this right now? Gayatri mantra, the Gayatri. Yes, Gayatri is one of the top. But the Shiva Shambho is really good. With the drums, Shiva, 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 Shambho, Shiva, 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 Shambho. And with the drums and the kirtan, it's really nice. And everyone just gets clapping and the energy. It's really wonderful. So let's see. 8A Gardening and Clay. Hello, my friend. Says, what's your take on ditching the 9-to-5 grind, becoming free? Ooh, yeah. Well, if you have watched my Travel Like a Viking channel, you know that I wrestled with this a number of years ago because I was working at the factory and my life had not taken the turn that I thought that it would after high school and stuff. So in high school, And in all of school and then high school, I was very much, I never missed a day of school my entire life up until the day I got expelled forever in 12th grade. So, yeah, it was crazy. And I was in the honors classes and I was captain of the wrestling team. And I was, like in the bodybuilding, Northrop bodybuilding competitor and all this stuff. And really was going into, I wanted to go to either West Point or the Naval Academy. Had all these goals and was really focused and was taking these super hard AP classes and everything. I started dabbling in some stuff, kid stuff. But then I ended up getting in a bunch of trouble my senior year and getting expelled just like that and sent to a criminal school. It's called LC Ward around here. And there they put all the kids that get expelled into one school. And so kind of just conditioning, getting them all used to prison, you know what I mean? And so it was there that I really just fell off the deep end, started doing all kinds of bad stuff from that point out. Because I was like, man, forget it. This is what this world's about. You got to be kidding me. And so then I drifted around. Of course, because I got arrested and stuff in my senior year, I didn't get to go to West Point or the Naval Academy. I didn't get to do none of that. And just life completely shifted altogether. And I was suddenly like a criminal and an outcast. And the whole way I thought about myself, it was wild. And then so for like 4 or 5 years, I just drifted around. I was working all different kinds of jobs and trying to find like, okay, this is not what was supposed to be my life. And so I was working at a factory. And so after like 2 years of working at this factory, it was like, okay, this cannot be it. This can't be my life. And it's the kind of factory job where people get it and then never leave. They like, you get there and the people were like, oh boy, you're lucky getting in here so young. I've been here 39 years and someday you can be like me and be all slouched over and look like my body's decomposing because I'm just sitting here soldering circuit boards we were soldering circuit boards for the military aircraft for Boeing. And so you get to work and you look in the microscope and all day you solder circuit boards. And they had wide open overtime. And so you could work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week if you wanted to. And so many people did. And you just boom, boom. And a job like that for me, for someone like me, it kills my spirit. It sucked the spirit out of my life. For many people, it's ideal though. Don't get me wrong. If you've got kids and stuff, that kind of job can be a godsend because it's very stable, good benefits, full dental and health coverage for the whole family. All that stuff is great. But for me, young, I was 22, 23, 24, and was like, this is not where it's at for me. And so I just felt my life like I was just going through all the motions for like a number, and so I said, okay, this has to make a change. So what am I going to do? Of course, in a person of extreme behaviors. And so I said, okay, here's what I'll do. I will quit my job, sell everything I own, and buy a one-way ticket to Sri Lanka. And that's it. And so I said, okay, that's what I'm going to do. So 8 months so for the next 8 months, I worked 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, virtually, and saved up as much as I could. I was able to save up like 15 grand. And then that includes selling all of the stuff I had. I had a car and apartment and all kinds of stuff. And then bought a one-way ticket to Sri Lanka and never looked back, my friend. And I had no idea what was going to happen. And all the people that were in my life and stuff, they were like, dude, what are you doing? You're leaving this amazing job that you've got. You could be there for 50 years. It's so secure and it pays good and all that stuff. And what are you going to do when you're over there? What are you going to eat? Where are you going to sleep? It doesn't make any sense. And I was just like, I know, guys, it doesn't make any sense, but it just sounds unbelievably exciting. And it sounds like, to be honest, I wasn't even thinking about it. It was just coming from the heart. And it was like, no, go. You got to do this. You just got to. And so I couldn't give them any answers. They're like, why? I was like, well, guys, I'm not thinking about it that much because I was just beginning to understand how to let the heart guide your life. And so I was like, Well, the heart is telling me, now that's the only thing that guides me is the heart. But then it was like very foreign to me. I was used to analyzing and dissecting everything with the mind, and the mind had to come up with a conclusion. But I was like, yep, I'm going to do it. And then it turned out to be the greatest thing ever in my life. I traveled for the next 10 years after that. I mean, I came back occasionally and stuff, but it totally transformed everything. My whole view of the world just exploded. I mean, totally exploded after I left. And I started living with the villagers and stuff like that. And I rode my bicycle through Morocco. I landed in Spain. I mean, over all these years, and I landed in Spain on one of these trips, and then rode south through Andalusia, and then across the Strait of Gibraltar, went into Tangier, and then rode all down the coast of Morocco, and marooned in this fishing village for like 3 months. I was living with these people, and this is like National Geographic type fishing village. And didn't speak a word. No one spoke a word of English, not one word, because if they were educated, they spoke French. But so I had to learn like Maghrebi and a little bit of Arabic, and it was just really magnificent. And all of these experiences, nothing that working at that job could have ever done for me, nothing that college could have done for me. I was taking college at the same time, none of that. So yeah, and so that's a long answer to your question, but there is my thoughts on leaving that. If it's coming from the heart, then you just got to do it, and you just got to go, and you got to trust that the universe has your best intention in its heart, and it does. The universe is always conspiring for your best awakening. That is what is happening, but most people are blocking their awakening. But the universe, it's inevitable. It's inevitable. If it's meant to happen for you, you can't stop it. That's the thing. That's what's beautiful about it. And so I recommend that just go, But at the same time, you also have to understand that some people just are so frustrated with their life that they just want to change because they think that a circumstance is going to change the way that they feel inside. And sometimes that can be true. But what I realized through all the years of traveling was that no matter where you are going, you bring with you the same thought patterns. And if you don't change the belief patterns inside that have got you to that place of feeling despair and loneliness and desolation in your life and frustration, if you don't change the inner, then you will rearrange the outer to be the exact same. And it will blow your mind. You'll have a whole new life in Thailand with an Austrian girlfriend and stuff, and having like this beautiful life. But then you will find after some time, you are recreating the same sort of situations that led to your despair in your previous life. This is how I know all of this, because I've done this. For years I did this. And then I said, okay, well, I had to go. And I left that whole entire life behind, said goodbye to the Austrian girlfriend and left the diving job and all of that, and went to a new place in Greece, took a whole new place and started a whole new life there, and then enough time passes and you realize, wow, I have recreated the same thing, different people, different place, but the same kind of essence. How is this possible? And so that forced me to go within. And so that's how I know that many people just think the grass is greener on the other side, and it's not, because the grass comes from within. The grass is only within. And so the color of the grass is all within. So that is my thoughts on that, my friend. Nancy says, thank you for being so open. Yes, you're very welcome, my friend. And that is... it's good. I have no problem being open if I think that it's going to benefit someone. That's what it's all about. Most of my friends and stuff like that don't even know this aspect of me, but because I don't think it would help them that much. But if somebody asks, then I'm all about it, because I think that they can benefit from it. Graham said, did you like school? I couldn't stand it. I thought it was a scam, but couldn't figure out why everyone took it so seriously. I liked school. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. It definitely, but now I know, though. Now, I understand. Back then, I thought that school was really trying to condition you to be intelligent, that school was that you had to learn things. But I didn't understand that school is there to instill a fixed response to authority. That is what school is ultimately for, to turn you into another worker bee, to make it so that when they blow the whistle, brr, everyone comes running. So that when you have to ask when to go to the bathroom, you have to ask, you get told when you get to eat, you get told, all of that stuff is conditioning the subconscious to say, okay, well, who above me has got the power? Or where is the power? Because it's not coming from within. As opposed to how they do it in villages and things like that, where the earth is teaching them. And you don't actually need, and this took a long time for me to understand, that you don't actually need school at all to be intelligent or literate or any of that kind of stuff, or to succeed in life. But that is something else entirely. But yeah, that's how I understood. And this was a core lesson of that whole thing, is that it doesn't see when I was like the exemplary student, and I was, like I said, captain of the wrestling team, honor roll, perfect attendance, all that stuff. But then I broke the rules. And so you cannot break the rules, and nobody cares who you are. That's what I learned from that. No one cares what you've done because you didn't play by the rules. And so I even had 4 of my teachers write me letters of recommendation to get me back in. And these letters of recommendation, I kept them just because they say things like, Nate's the ideal student. If we had more of these students in class, then school would just be amazing. School would be wonderful. So, speaking to my character and whatnot. And even that didn't matter one bit, man. I tried to get back into school so I could finish it and all of that. They didn't care at all. I got caught with weed at school is what it was. Is that I 0.02 grams of weed was found in my car. And so and so whoop, you're out forever, just like that. And so that made me realize, man, okay, that in this world, this is the world we live in, that they do not care who you are, really, or what you've done, or how good of a person you are. None of that. You didn't play by the rules, and so you will pay. And that really was eye-opening for me, and that really set the tone for my sort of outlaw spirit, because, well, and we haven't even got into my actual life as an outlaw. That might only come out in the book, but yeah. So that is what that is all about, okay? So let's see here. It's Earth School. We come here, we learn instead of being told how it should work. Yo, absolutely, man. I learned more. I went to school and then college for a few years and stuff, and I learned more in one day of traveling the world than I ever learned in all of my schooling combined, as far as about life. About how to treat people and how to handle yourself in life. How to handle yourself was a big one. That was a skill I learned, on the road. You just learn more in every moment than you do like sitting in a classroom being told, okay, you can only take a piss when I say you can. Like, man, all of what that does to the young mind. It develops your whole worldview and your whole structure of how you see things. Okay, well, where's the next authority that's going to tell me when I can go to the bathroom or when I can eat? It's just setting you up to work that kind of 9-to-5 job, which is nothing against. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying that many, many people, if they had the option in their life, would not be working the job they're at. They would not be living the life they're at because they don't realize they ever had an option. Okay, Iowa Viking says, LOL, I find it funny you said worker bee. In truth, the worker bees run the hive, not the queen. Well, you do know that that's a figure of speech, of course, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, but there's actually nothing wrong with being a worker bee in the hive. I mean, that's actually kind of a poor saying. A worker bee, because there's actually great respect. The way that a hive actually works. Because see, in Greece, and the way I know this is I lived in Greece. I was living with Yorgo Meli, Honey George. I stayed with him for some time, and he had dozens, maybe 100 hives, and right in the mountainside of Greece. And so I learned so much about bees and how they are the foundation of just yes, and they're the hive mind. I learned a lot about the hive mind, and see, I would have never understood any of that. It doesn't matter how many textbooks you read about any of that. Studying the bees is where you learn it, and that's just the kind of thing I'm talking about. So, Paint with Sway says, did you experience a period of anger after your awakening? What do you recommend to help make peace with the feeling that we have been brainwashed and conditioned our whole lives? Yeah, I know. Well, there's different levels of it. So making peace with it does not mean, okay, I'm okay with it. Like that's not a problem. That's not what it means. It means that, okay, this is the state of what has happened. It's like when you wake up, when you really wake up, it can be horrifying. For several years after my initial, awakening, and I began to see all of these things, there was like a deep sadness in my life. I just was thinking, oh my God, when you see the scope and the scale of what is happening and what is being done, combine that with the awakening of it can just be so much. Oh my goodness, and a deep sort of depression set over me for some time. And but it's working through that creates that gets you to the other side of that. There is the anger, there is the sort of despair, there is the hopelessness, there is the what is the point of anything? And then you realize there is no point of anything. Everything is absolutely perfectly free. Freedom is the state of everything. But coming to this took a long, long time. And yes, there was a feeling of anger, a feeling of loneliness that, okay, you awaken to see that you are in a madhouse. You awaken to see that what most people call normal is absolutely insane. And that you were insane for a long time, but now you wake up and you think, now what can I do about it? Immediately you want to think, what can I do about it? But it's not like that. It's like trying to strong arm the course of society and awaken everybody else and stuff. That's like trying to turn a cruise ship by leaning really hard to one side. Okay, well, one person, me, because I'm awake, I'm going to lean really hard to this side of the cruise ship, trying to turn it. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. So instead, what you have to do is let the light shine through you. Just get out of the way and just let the heart energy flow right through you, but just get out of the way. By that, I mean the you that you think you are, the limited, I am a person that has a life and that I go to work and I am this job and I am all of that. That's just a tiny fraction of what you really are. Just a minute fraction. But so once you realize what you really are and begin living from that and you get out of the way, then it can't help but the light of creation shines. And so that is how you turn the cruise ship. You awaken the light within every other person, and then everybody turns, and then it turns, okay? But it can only happen individually. And so it can only happen by being the light. Which is not you. You don't own it. It's just the source of all creation flowing through you. So that's, yeah. Amanda says, thank you, Nate. Yes, you're very welcome, my friend. Graham says, be yourself and don't care what people think or say about you. You'll find you'll attract better friends and lose a lot of others. Help people as you go, but you'll find there's not many listen. My dad used to say, love many, trust few, always paddle your own canoe. I like that very much. Yes, and you will attract, definitely, man. As your vibration changes, your state of mind and all of that, you will see many people just go by the wayside. And for a lot of people, that's uncomfortable. They think, I must be doing something wrong because all my friends are losing contact with me, or all of my whole life, I feel... I don't do anything anymore, or I feel alone, or something like this. That can only be, that's temporary, my friends, and that is a transition period. Okay, so when you awaken to the state of what you really are, then your frequency changes, your vibration changes, and the people that do not vibrate at the same or similar sort of frequency in many ways, they would just go by the wayside. When I really had the awakening, so many people that I used to hang out with and that I used to party with, friends and all of this stuff, just went by the wayside. But I had to be okay with that. At first, it was like, no, no, I need to keep up on my friends. I haven't seen you in so many years. Yeah, yeah. No, let's go out and party and stuff, blah, 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 blah. No, none of that's where it's at anymore. I have zero desire for any of that kind of thing. And so it doesn't bother me now. It doesn't bother me in the slightest that if somebody comes into my life or goes out of my life, it doesn't matter. It's totally irrelevant because there's nothing that this realm can give to me or take from me because I'm already as complete as anything can be. I'm already all that is. And it's just a really, really whole different way of moving through the world. So, yeah, you have to, it starts with just becoming okay with, okay, well, the energy is trying to protect itself. So the high vibrational energy and stuff is not going to just continually be around all this low vibration, all these energetic vampires and stuff. You just got to cast them out. So yeah, we're approaching towards the end, my friends. Let me know if you got any questions. Let me know if any of this stuff has resonated with you. And if you're watching it after the fact, let me know in the comments, your awakening experience. Have you had it? Do you feel like you've had it? Do you know what a dark night of the soul is? Have you gone through that? Would you like to talk about a dark night of the soul sometime? We could have a whole special on that. Because that is, oh my goodness, that can be very powerful. But the wonderful thing about the dark night of the soul is that it is a process and it's not the end. It's far from it. It's the beginning. It's the beginning. So Paint with Sway says, I resonate deeply with almost everything you say. That is wonderful, my friend. Yes, I can feel that. Okie Ranch says, my true friends I can count on one hand. I have many acquaintances. Oh, absolutely. Yes, definitely. Same here. Very much. But also, things changed when I used to, because I used to not realize how whole I was, or I am. Because I used to not know what I am. And so I would think that I was like a person, like an individual, and so that people had things that I could gain from them, that I could get from them, and so I would do, and that would sort of be a relationship, a basis for a relationship is, okay, I can get things from this person, either physical things or mental things or emotional things. This person could make me feel a certain way about myself and all of this. And so that would guide so many of the relationships that I would have. And only looking back do I know this. At the time, I was just going, that was how I functioned. But once you realize your own wholeness, then and you know that there's nothing that you can gain from anyone. And there's nothing that you can lose either. It doesn't matter. It's totally irrelevant what someone thinks or feels about you, as opposed in terms of your core. Because what you are it's beyond blemish. It's stainless. It's perfection. And so okay, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and end it real soon here in a moment. But yes, Graham says, I was awake from a very early age, but couldn't talk to anyone. Yes, I understand. Only looking back do I understand a lot of that as well, though. Okay, do you guys got any burning questions? 3 years ago when I went back home to Belgium for a month and visited old friends, I really felt like we have nothing in common anymore, though we are still the same as 7 years ago. Yeah, I totally understood that. When I would come back from traveling and I would see people's lives, I would start talking to them about things, and it's just like we spoke a totally different language. They just didn't, because I know their worldview is still so radically different. It's so radically different from where, because when I was young like that, I was going into the military and stuff. So I was very patriotic. I was like, well, America, the land of the free, we're the greatest nation on earth, because it's drilled into our head from birth, is that, we're the land of the free because of the brave and all of this and blah, blah, blah. And then after traveling, I realized that is an absolute farce. That is a joke. In fact, we are the least free of many of the places. We are one of the most controlled of all countries. And coming to those realizations blew my mind. But you can't help but see when you spend enough time and have enough circumstance. It's just, and that's how I understood about all of how the mind works and how programming works and all of this kind of stuff. You start looking back and having flashbacks of I pledge allegiance to the blah, 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 you know, and all of the national anthem and all of that stuff, how it's drilled into the head. Land of the free, free our freedoms. We're not free as Americans, guys. Newsflash. Yeah, that's hard to digest. I know, and that can rub some people the wrong way, but this is my truth and I'm speaking it. You know what I mean? So, okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and end it there. We're going to keep these ones about an hour. Late to the party, Val. Yes, this was a pretty good one. I suggest you go back and watch this one because it really, I felt like it was really good. You know, that's the kind of stuff I love to talk about. This one this is the kind of stuff that really motivates me. I mean, I love this, talking about things like this and helping other people to feel this kind of energy. This is like what I'm most passionate about, even more passionate than growing and gardening and all of that, is this kind of thing. Truly. So, Graham, as the Bible says, for nothing is hidden that cannot be seen. He who hath eyes, let him see. This is very true, my friend. Okay, so guys, every Monday at 12 noon, we're going to be here. And yes, give the video a like. Also, if you're watching after the fact, leave a comment, share the video with whoever. Leave me some comments if you want new topics. You know, we can sort of focus around a topic or something. Maybe next time we'll drop in with like 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe of some breathing techniques. I do these every day. I mean, I do them all the time. And I have friends come over and do them. Then we do ice bath and sauna and all kinds of stuff. It's been so magnificent. And yes, so every Monday and then every Saturday at 12 noon on my gardening channel. If you guys are into gardening or growing, you can check that one out. And also I have a Travel Like a Viking channel, is the name of it, that I do act out little stories of kind of what I just talked about my experiences. So even though we've only scratched the surface, we're not even 1 year into the 10-year odyssey, you know, we will. Well, I'll get back to those videos. So, okay, thank you very much, my friend, for spending time with me. I appreciate everybody's energy, and I will see you next time.